welcome to Battle of the Christmas Movies between Lifetime and Hallmark. Alright, please do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can continue to get updates, and yeah, let's get started. So, Lifetime first. Okay, there's 2 from Lifetime and 1 from Hallmark, so here we go. First up is Too Close for Christmas. Now this one, it's got Chad Michael Murray and Jessica Lange in it. Now Chad Michael Murray is really known for being in One Tree Hill, of course Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff, Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan, and I'm sure he's done many other things, but those are the ones I've seen thus far. Now up until then I hadn't really seen him in anything that I'd watched. But I've watched now quite a few of his Christmas movies, and I have to say I do like him in these Christmas movies. I think he does a fantastic job. Now, when it comes to him though, I seem to get Brad Pitt vibes from him. Now in this particular movie, I got Brad Pitt vibes as usual, but I also got a bit of Matthew McConaughey. I think that's how you say his name, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so I keep getting Brad Pitt vibes from him anytime I watch his Christmas movies. Now I can't actually see what he looks like. You know, I'm sure he's still good looking like when I could see him back then, because I absolutely loved him in Cinderella Story. Yeah, but in these Christmas movies, I think he does a fantastic job. He's so natural with it. Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Brad Pitt's got that really natural acting, and where he can be really funny and goofy. And I think when it came to this particular movie, that's exactly how it was. But it's just weird, like, because now that I can't actually see him, I'm like really picking up on the Brad Pitt vibes. It's so strange, but I do like it because I love Brad Pitt, so I paid attention quite a bit about Brad Pitt to know when I'm getting vibes from someone else. But I think Chad Michael Murray does a great job. Now in this particular movie, Too Close for Christmas, the lead actress, she's coming to spend the Christmas holiday with her sister and her sister's husband's family. Which is played by Jessica Lange. So her character is actually an event planner, and she does this big corporations and everything, and she's been really good, and she's been overdue for a really good promotion. For a really good promotion, but she hasn't gotten it yet, so she's off for the holiday, and she's spending it with her sister's husband's family. When she gets there, apparently that indicates that there was a little bit of a flub between the sister's husband's brother and her at the wedding. It turns out that he had said something about her current relationship at the time, and while the guy was there at the wedding, and then after that, shortly they ended up splitting up. And she sort of held that against him for a while, like, you don't point out to someone that, oh, you guys probably shouldn't be together or something like that. But either way, that's what happened, and she's been holding it against him that whole time. She wasn't expecting him to be there for the holidays because he was supposed to be going to Switzerland on his skiing trip, but instead he says his flight was delayed and then eventually cancelled, so he ends up spending the holiday with them, and she's not happy about that, and she just says, well, stay away from me, mind your business. There's a lot of great chemistry going on here. I really do like it. Once again, I say Chad is doing a great job. He has this personality that's very natural, and he's quite funny, and I just find myself really liking him in it. So I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. It was a good story, like I said. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. They end up obviously getting along and finding out more about each other, and it turns out he's really liking her, and he's pretty much liked her the whole time, and she's obviously starting to like him because she's seen a different side of him. And of course, as usual, there's the drama of oh, one person thinks this, and then this happens, and then the other person gets really upset and really pissed off. But in this case, you know, of course, I can't lie. I was expecting it, and it happened exactly the way I was expecting it. But I really did like it, regardless of all of that. Pretty much they end up together and, you know, exploring, and it was sweet. I liked it. It was really sweet. And yeah, but like I said, I keep getting Brad Pitt vibes from him, and I'm liking it. But yeah, in this one it was like Brad Pitt mixed with Matthew McConaughey. I'm sure he's not intending on that, but that's what I get from him. And you know what, they're both great actors, so no, nothing to snuff at there, for sure. He's in a good boat right there. Yeah, so hope to see more Christmas movies with him. I've genuinely liked all the movies I've seen with him. As far as Christmas goes, I've liked it, and he's been really good. So, yeah. Alright, next up, that was Too Close for Christmas. Next up is Let's Meet Again for Christmas. This one has Kyla Pratt in it, and with her, I've watched her other Christmas movies once again. She does a great job as well, and I enjoy watching her movies as well. I've seen, the ones I've actually seen with her was No Time Like Christmas, and my favorite, The Christmas Pact. I just thought her chemistry with the lead actor, and that was just electrifying. I just loved it. It was smooth, and it just made me want to have a connection with someone like that. So it was just great. I just loved watching that, and that's one I could actually watch over and over and over again and not get bored of. Back to Let's Meet Again for Christmas. Yeah, this one was pretty good. I did like it. Once again, great chemistry as usual. She always has wonderful chemistry with her co-stars. It's so natural in some ways that she just like dives right in there, and you feel like, well, she really does fit in that role or whatever it is, and, you know, because she really tends to make it her own. So yeah, but this one is about two couples. They were together in their college days, and the girlfriend, of course, Kyla, ends up finding out that her boyfriend has an opportunity to go to Italy for photography and like for art schools, something like that. And he was gonna pass it up because he didn't want to have to leave her. And she goes, well, you can't do that. You have to follow your dreams and all this stuff. And he was like, well, it's for 2 years. How are we gonna make that work? We can't do long distance. And she was like, well, yeah, can't do long distance. I know. I understand that, but she's like, but you can't pass this up. And he's like, okay, fine. And then she goes, well, you know, I'll tell you what. She says this whole love story that once happened about this man who loved this woman so much. She kept saying no to him, but every year he would prove by making like some ornament or something like that, card, for her every year for about 5 years to show how much he loves her. She eventually gives in and says yeah, and then finds out that she actually really does love him too. And it's this love story, but pretty much she says, well, look, we will both sign this card together that in 2 years time we will meet right back here in this Christmas tree, and that would mean we'll really have true love because we wouldn't have let anything else get in the way of that. So he wasn't really buying it. It's like, really, you're breaking up with me? And then she's all like, no, we're not breaking up. It's just you have to go fulfill your dreams, and I don't want to hold you back on that just because you want to be with me. But she's like, so we signed this, and you know, we love each other, so we'll meet back in 2 years. And he's like not buying it or anything, but he ends up signing it, and they end up going their separate ways. So obviously 2 years come by, and what happens? Boom, he does not show up. She she shows up, but he's not there. So obviously she felt like, oh, I guess it's not true love because he didn't come to the tree. So she ends up, going about her business for the rest, living her life. I think 7 years go by, and 7 years later, she works for a company, and she's a wedding planner, actually. She's known as the Christmas wedding planner, like she does all that stuff. But anyways, so her boss ends up saying, hey, you're gonna do this one job for this billionaire couple. They're trying to have a Christmas wedding, and I want you to do it because you're the best. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, oh, come on, you gotta do this. And she's like, well, okay, fine. If I do this, I want to be partner. And he goes, okay, well, eventually he goes, all right, fine. You'll be partner if this goes really well. So she goes, yes, okay. So she goes, meets the couple in Connecticut because she's going to start planning their wedding. It turns out they're having a photographer show up and shoot all the stuff about the wedding, and lo and behold, who's the photographer? It happens to be her ex. Yeah, and she's all surprised, like, oh, wow, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I'm the photographer. And she's like, I'm the wedding planner. So now they have to kind of work together in some ways. He was kind of stepping on her toes a little bit because obviously she showed up, he didn't, and she still remembers that because she loved him very much. But it turns out he still very much has feelings for her, and the more they spend time together, they're both realizing those feelings are still there. But she finds a really hard time putting behind her the fact that he never showed up. And when they finally confront that situation, she said, why didn't you show up and all this stuff? And he says, well, to be honest, if you knew you were gonna just break up with me, why didn't you just break up with me? And she goes, well, obviously I didn't break up with you because I showed up to the tree, but you didn't. And then he was like, you actually showed up? She's like, yes, because that's what we said we were going to do. And he was like, well, I didn't believe you, and I didn't believe it. And she's like, well, whatever. And he goes, well, can I have a second chance and all this stuff? And she's like, I don't know. Did you at least keep the card that you signed and everything? And he goes, no, I threw that away. And I was just like, oh, man, you stupid man. Like, there was hope, Like, okay, fine, you didn't show up to the tree, but maybe all this time you kept the card in hopes that one day, you feel like you guys will reconnect, all that. I just couldn't let the card go. One of those sentimental things. I don't know, but he tossed it. He tossed it in the trash. So, it's done. She's like, forget it. Like, she's like, I'm done. You do you. Go about your life. I'm gonna go about mine. It clearly wasn't true love. You didn't believe, and all this stuff. And I know for some people that's like, well, geez, you're gonna put all of this on some card and 2 years ago and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you know what? It was something that was important to her, and that was kind of symbolic for her. And I guess I don't mind this because it sounds like something I probably would do. Yeah, it does sound like something I would probably do. But yeah, so I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, he knows her. He was her boyfriend. He knows how crazy she gets and, how sentimental she is about things. And if this was something that was important to her, he should have done it. He ends up saying, oh, well, I didn't show up because I saw you having pictures with this one guy and all this stuff. And, I didn't want to, why should I go see you if you've got a boyfriend? And it's like, once again, stupid. I don't blame him for thinking that, but at the same time, if you truly love someone, you fight for them, regardless of if they are with someone. Obviously, if they tell you, hey, respectfully, please, I'm very much happy in this relationship, then you should back off and not be like stalk or anything. But if, you really feel like there's a connection there and they're just trying to put a block around you, then maybe you tug a little bit. You say, let's give us a chance. You at least try and say how you feel. And not just, chicken out and say, oh, well, I thought you were with someone. Oh, well, thank you so much for being so respectful. But I want someone that will show up and be there. That's actually what she says. But yeah, so that happens. But pretty much, you know what? I really liked it. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It was, funny drama, kind of. It wasn't really funny, but to me, there were funny moments. That was cool. But with that story that he thought was fictional, there was a part of me like, it turns out it happened to be the father, I believe the father of the man or the woman or the uncle, I don't know. But he turns out to be this love story Kyla Pratt's character was talking about. They weren't sure if it was real or not, but it turned out to be real because he happened to be the guy, and his wife had since passed on, but they didn't find out until the very end. There was some mysticalness about him in some ways. But yeah, the part of me was like, well, when are they going to actually realize he's the guy? The shoemaker with the person, all that stuff. Anyways, that was a whole thing. But like I said, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, that was fantastic. I enjoyed both of those movies. One of those love stories, once again, that you just kind of like, if only. Alright, that is all that's Lifetime. Now it's time for Hallmark. Hallmark, this one was called Christmas in Evergreen. Bells are ringing. Yeah, Christmas in Evergreen, bells are ringing. Now this one is about two couples. They've been together, but it turns out one of them is starting to feel a little bit antsy about his future and what he wants to do. And the girlfriend is only starting to realize what she wants to do, planting her feet. And he's like, well, I want to go to Boston and open a new store and all this stuff. And she's like, well, I want to stay here in Evergreen because I love it. It's my home. And that she finally found something that she really wants to do here, which is run a Christmas museum. And there's all this drama with the museum because it turns out one of the people that owned the building was not in agreement to giving it up to the city to use for a Christmas museum. So there was some drama with that, with it possibly not opening and trying to win the man over with their history. This one has Holly Robertson Pete in it, which I like. She's really good. She voiced, she was the one that did the voice of the Boondocks. The characters, the boys, I think. She's really good. And once again, she's got natural just vibes. Like it's so relaxed. Sometimes you can't realize she's even acting. She's so comfortable with like all her co-stars. You can feel it. But she plays the mayor, and she was supposed to be getting married December 23rd, but it turns out her fiance snowed in where he's at, so they end up having to postpone the wedding for the next year. I wonder if they're gonna have another one, because this one's the second one of the Christmas in Evergreen. But yeah, but this one, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, just that natural feel. But that was the main premise of trying to open the Christmas museum, and she was supposed to be getting married and not being able to get married, and it just felt very family oriented. And I really did like it, but I will say I liked the Lifetime ones far more. I found it a little bit more enjoyable. Not to say I didn't enjoy this one. Like I said, it was pretty good. It's still really enjoyable. Like I said, I like Holly Robertson Pete. And I did like the story overall. It was quite sweet. Actually, there were these two, I think they're twin sisters or something like that, and they kind of finish each other's words a little bit. They talk at the same time. They were sisters to the man who owned the building that the Christmas museum was supposed to open up in, and I just found them to be quite adorable when they would, talk at the same time. And when they were expressing, you know, their feelings for their brother, like how great of a job he had done. It was just like, oh, it was so cute. Yeah, it was very emotional in that one scene, very just heartfelt, and I liked it. But yeah, overall I did like it very much. That was Hallmark, Christmas in Evergreen. Bells are ringing. I think there might be another one, so I'll look out for that one. But yeah, it was really good. All right, that is it for Christmas movies right now. I've got many more to watch. Stay tuned. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you next time. All right, bye. Oh, before I go, 10 points for Lifetime, I've got to say, for both of them really, because I really did enjoy it, and Hallmark. And I have to say, this time it's really hard to find ones that I'm not liking, because they've all actually been quite good. But we'll see at the end who will win. It might be a tie. Who knows? They might have been so different. Who knows? But once again, all right, take care. Bye.